Hey everybody, this is Adam Smith, and I want to thank you for tuning in today. I'm glad you guys are here. I want to talk to you guys about the three-step system that we use to generate a predictable number of clients every single month. And there's something very interesting about this concept. A lot of people are trying to figure out, what is that step that they can be able to use? What is that new feature? What is that trick? What is that new whatever it is that people are using to be able to get new clients. And something that is super, super important is that to understand is that you have to have a way that you're going to be able to generate those clients. And it's like anything in this world. You think about some of the greatest basketball players out there. I think about Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, LeBron James. And I think about how many hours of practice that they have put in to be able to make sure that they are good at their craft. I think about Steph Curry and how many free throws he's had to shoot, how many three-pointers he's had to shoot to get to where he is today. And the same goes for you in your business, and the same goes for me in my business, is that you have to have a predictable way of being able to get the results that you want. You think about Steph Curry, how many shots did he have to take to be able to get to where he is? He has, I think it was like crazy, upwards of 90% percentage on his free throws that he makes. And the reason why is because he has shot enough free throws to be able to have that percentage, and because he's practiced so much. And the same goes for us in our business, is you have to have a predictable way to be able to make that happen. So how do you actually do that? How do you have a predictable way of getting new clients into your business? Well, there's a couple of different ways that you can do it. The first way is to be able to create value in a way that separates yourself from the rest of the crowd. Now, we all know that having an important value proposition is super important, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about creating value for your clients. What is that value that you can give? What is the result that they are trying to give? What is the result that they are trying to get? And creating videos and content and trainings to be able to help them achieve that goal before asking for anything. And I remember Gary Vaynerchuk, he's the CEO of VaynerMedia. He said, when your goal is to, when your goal is to convert, then you will lose. When your goal is to disproportionately bring value, you will win. And I love that quote because it resonates so well with how our system is today. And that's something that I teach. It's a system called engagement reframing, and it's a completely new way of doing business now. The reason why is because we have to change the way that we're engaging with our clients. It's one of the most important things that we can do. And so one thing to remember is that you have to be able to have that predictable method of getting those clients. So how do you do that? Well, there's a three-step process that we use to ensure that we are getting the results that we want in our own company. And so there's only three things that you guys need. And you guys have these three things, literally nothing else matters. If you guys have these three things, people have built multi-million-dollar businesses off of these three things. And I'm going to share them with you in just a second. So a lot of people are going to think that there are, it's all about operations and finance and being able to make sure that your product is amazing. And all those things are great, but it doesn't generate predictability within a company. And so those three things, the first one is your traffic. You have to figure out, how are you getting leads into your business? What is that method that you are using? I know some of you may be using traditional forms of advertising like TV, radio. You may be using billboards. You may be using newspaper ads, whatever it is. And those things were great for up until about the 2000s. And then even now, people are changing where their attention is. You have to think about, where are the eyeballs? Where are people's attentions focused? And the attention is in social media. That's where everybody is in social media. And so if you can be on that platform and you can be out and putting your content out there, that is the place to be. And so a lot of people, they think, okay, I need to be on social media. That's super, super important. So they get on social media, they try to run a few ads, and it doesn't work. And they're like, okay, this whole social media game doesn't work. It's a scam. I'm not making any money with this. It's not profitable. It's not working, right? And so they give up. The trick, though, is that you have to get people, you have to have your form of distribution. I want to talk about this for a sec. Your form of distribution, what is that? Your form of distribution is how you deliver your products and services to your clients. How do you do that? And I'm not talking about, if you're a personal trainer, I'm not talking about like the gym. I'm not talking about anything like that. What I'm talking about is what is that method that you are using to be able to get your message and your products and services? How do you deliver that to your clients and your customers? And think about McDonald's. What are their forms of distribution? And if you think about it, it's their real estate. It is the form of distribution is you go into a McDonald's and that's where they can sell you a hamburger, fries, and a Coke. And so for you, what is your form of distribution? And everything right now, like we were talking about, is online. And you think about Mark Zuckerberg and his distribution is Facebook. And you think about YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, right? Getting people, where is your distribution? And it comes in your followers. It comes in your subscribers on YouTube. It comes on people, how many people like your page, and how many followers you have on Instagram. So those are all great forms of distribution. Those are huge, very, very important. Another very, very important one is your email list. And a lot of people, what they'll do is they say, okay, you've heard you need to build an email list, It's super, super important. And so you go out and you build an email list and you're trying, and then you realize that, oh my gosh, like I'm only getting about a quarter of people to open my emails, and I'm only getting about, if you're lucky, 5%, maybe 7% of people to actually click on your emails. That's crazy. That's like 7 out of every 100 people on your email list are only like receiving your message. That's insane. And so, you got to be creative. You got to be super creative about how you're going out and getting your distribution. It's one of the most important things that you can do. And so what we found that's been super, super effective is being able to start generating a list, a messenger bot list. And some of you guys may have heard of this, but we have found some of the greatest success right now in a messenger bot list. And Gary Vaynerchuk, I follow him a lot. You'll hear me quote him all the time. But one of the big things that he did in the 90s was being able to start an email list. That was one of the most important things that he did before even people knew what email was. He was doing an email list. And so he was getting like 90% open rates and 42% click-through rates on his email in the 90s because it wasn't saturated. You guys have to understand that, like, things are getting so saturated now and it's getting really, really hard and people's inboxes are filling up. It's super, super tough. So now messenger bots are what email was back in the 90s, okay? We did a test. I wasn't sure if this was actually true, but we did a test on this. And we ran a campaign and we were getting, I think it was 88% open rates, and we were getting 43% click-through rates just on that one campaign alone with a messenger bot. Guys, that is the way to be able to make it happen, is be able to get people on a messenger list. That's one of the most important things that you can do. And so once you have that messenger list, that is your form of distribution. That is how you can get your message out to people. So that's the first tip, is to be able to, figure out your traffic and what that is. Now, a lot of you, what you're going to do is you're going to be like, okay, I need a messenger list and I need an email list. And so what you're going to do is you're going to put up what we call a squeeze page. A squeeze page, the term is referring to being able to squeeze an email out of that visitor while they're there. And so you'll try to, get people on a squeeze page, and it's just really, really hard. You're going to find that it's pretty tough to be able to get people to opt in to those because of just how many people are doing them now. It can be really, really tough. It also gets very, very expensive too. Facebook actually is going to be doubling their costs this year for advertising. The reason why is because there are more and more advertisers and less spots and spaces for them to be able to advertise. And so what's happening is that there's only a certain amount of supply as there's increasing demand for those messenger or for those ads. And so what's happening is that advertisers are going to start having a very, very difficult time advertising on these social media platforms because of the rising cost of ads. And so as you're driving traffic to these cold audiences, people who have no idea who you are, it's going to start to get very, very expensive to be able to make that happen. And so what do? We found that one of the most effective things to be able to do for this is to have a video similar to this one and be able to send just a lot of value through this video and just share your tips, share your tricks, share your strategies. If you're a coach, if you're a consultant, whatever your craft is, just give a lot of value. And then what you can do is you can set up a custom audience from people who have watched 50% or 75% of this video and send a retargeting custom audience ad to those people, sending them to an opt-in page where you can get their email address so you can build your own distribution. That's the entire point of this entire thing. And you're going to find that it's going to be a lot easier to be able to get people to interact with you because you've already delivered value. People have engaged with you, and that is the point right there. And guys, I'm giving you, this is the system. This is the engagement reframing system that we use to be able to create this dependable stream of clients for our business. And so once you set up that custom audience, what you're going to want to do is be able to go to your opt-in page. I use ClickFunnels. That's the platform that I use. I have got friends who use Lead Pages, Optimize Press. There's a couple of people who use Kajabi. But I'm a big proponent of ClickFunnels. It's an all-in-one package. That's why I use it. But what you're going to want to do is once you set up your opt-in page, you're also going to want people to have a checkbox to be able to check and send that to a messenger, right? We usually give a bribe or a gift for people, some course. We've done PDFs. Anything like that you can use to have people check that box to send it to Messenger. So you'll get them on your email list and you can get them on your Messenger bot list. Super, super important that you do that. Now, a lot of you are going to struggle with your opt-in rates and being able to get those up. And one of the most important things to be able to look at with those is your headline, okay? So your headline is going to be like it's your hook, right? I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. I remember I was deep sea fishing with my dad, and I was just I was so bugged that I had to be there because I don't like fishing at all. I never caught a fish before, and it was terrible. I did not like it at all. But I knew that if I wanted to catch a fish, that I needed to have my line in the water. And so what I did is I kept my line in the water, but eventually I got super tired and I just pulled it out. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this anymore. But then we saw a frenzy of activity over in the distance, and our captain directed our ship, and we went over to that frenzy of activity. And what we did is we threw our lines in that water, and I felt a tug. If you guys have ever been fishing before, you know that's one of the greatest feelings ever. I had a tug on my fishing rod, and I pulled it out, and it was one of the coolest moments ever because I pulled this. I don't even know if it was very big, but I pulled it up onto the deck of the ship, and I was stoked that I had this. It was so cool. And so, guys, if you picture this kind of in your business, you think about your landing page, right? Your landing page is like your fishing rod. It's how you get in front of your dream clients. That's so important that you guys understand that. You have to have a way to get in front of your dream clients, okay? And then you have your bait. And so your bait is kind of like your headline. It's your hook, okay? And that is what is going to pull the attention of this traffic, these people who are coming to this opt-in page, this landing page that you have, and what is going to get them to opt in to want what you have to share. So that's super important. If your opt-in rate is super, super low, a big problem that I've seen as I've worked with my own clients is that their headline is not very curious at all. Your headline should be something like how to do something that, whatever they want, whatever their greatest desire is, how to do that thing without the worst pain. Okay, you think about some of the pain that these people are going through, and they have this huge, this huge want, this goal that they want to achieve without, like, what is that thing that is getting in their way? And that is going to be your hook. Okay, how to do this without this. Okay, if you guys are not using that form and your opt-in rates are super low, change that. Okay, that's really going to help. Okay. The other big thing that we do as well is be able to use a type of quiz or a survey or other type of element to get people to engage with us. This is the exact system that we use, guys. I'm just giving it to you. The engagement reframing system, because we have to change the way that we are interacting with our clients. It's one of the most important things that we can do. And so what we do is we use this sort of survey to be able to ask them questions about what they're doing, their business, how much money they're making, what are their pain points, and we kind of go through and we create this type of survey, this quiz, right? I used to run a company that did like relationship coaching, and we had this philosophy about something called love types, which basically, if you guys have ever taken the Myers-Briggs personality test, you get a 4-letter code. And with this 4-letter code is it tells you what your personality is. And so I worked with a doctor who was one of my clients to adapt a system for a way that we could be able to help people understand what their own love personality type was. And so what we did is we created a quiz to be able to help people figure out their own love personality type. And it was very simple. It was 4 questions, that was it. And we just laid it out and we said, hey, if you want to get your results, you can opt in here, send a messenger, whatever you want to do. Guys, it was insane. We were getting like 67% opt-in rates from that page. And this was from traffic that barely knew who we were. It was absolutely incredible. So use a quiz element. Guys, some of the top marketers in the world are doing quizzes. I know Neil Patel is using quizzes. Russell Brunson with ClickFunnels is using quizzes. The reason why is because they work. So go and get a quiz software if you have to. ClickFunnels actually integrates quizzes into its platform already, so it's free. You can just use that, so that's what I use. But you have to be able to have some type of quiz, some sort of way to interact with your customers. So if your opt-in rates are super low, that is another thing that you can do to be able to make that happen. So that is what I want to share with you guys on the traffic side. Now on the sales side, what you guys can do is after you guys get someone on an email list, a marketing list, what you can do is you can use what we call an SLO, and an SLO stands for a self-liquidating offer. This is one of the most incredible things. I know Dan Henry uses this system. He has a webinar and he doesn't pay a dime for ads at all. And the reason why is because his self-liquidating offer is covering the cost and liquidating those ads for him. And so what you guys can do is on the back on your thank you page, you can have a product, an offer, something that is going to be able to get people's attention, that is going to be enough to be able to cover your ad cost. And so I like to play within the $27 to $37 range. That's usually a good one. If you guys have a membership site, you can offer a $1 trial to that membership site. That also works as well. So those are some things that I would recommend as far as being able to liquidate those ad costs for you guys. The other big thing that you can do as far as your sales go is be able to create, if you guys have the capacity to create a webinar, that is also a huge opportunity to get opt-in rates at a very low cost. People love webinars, people love learning, and they enjoy that. So if you guys create a webinar, that way you guys will be able to get leads on your list a lot faster that way. So that's what you do for the traffic side. Now the way that we use this system is we go through and we create and we map out exactly how you can create this system. And one of the best ways that you can do this is by going through and doing a funnel map. And the way you do that is there's a software that we use called Funnelytics. And Funnelytics is a way that you can kind of just mind map your funnel. So you'll have your traffic, you'll have your custom audience that you're going to create from your retargeting that you're going to do, sending people to a landing page with a messenger bot and a quiz. Make sure you guys do that. And then if you guys have a self-liquidating offer, probably somewhere between the $27 and $37 range, that you guys can do. You write that copy, create the videos, whatever you guys need to do, set that up, add it to your shopping, add in your shopping integrations, your payment integrations so you can get paid, and then your thank you page to thank them for going through your funnel. So that's one of the most important things you guys can do. This is really going to help you just map this out and really make it work. So I hope this was helpful. If you guys found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with someone that you feel like could really use this in their business. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you later.